Have you ever felt the crushing weight of loneliness, surrounded by people, yet more isolated than ever? What if I told you that solitude, the very thing we fear, might actually be the key to freedom, clarity, and inner strength? We scroll endlessly, text constantly, and fill every quiet space with noise. Yet, when the world goes silent, most of us feel restless, even afraid. But the Stoics saw silence and solitude not as punishment, but as power. What did they know that we've forgotten? In a world louder than ever before, could stepping back into solitude be the only way to truly hear yourself? The Stoics believed so, and their lessons might be exactly what modern loneliness has been trying to teach us. Welcome to Stoic Blend, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Today, we will explore why Stoics embrace solitude and uncover the timeless lessons they offer for overcoming modern loneliness. Part 1. The nature of solitude. A friend, not an enemy. Loneliness and solitude are often confused. Loneliness feels like being abandoned, overlooked, or disconnected. Solitude, on the other hand, is the deliberate act of being with yourself without distraction, without performance, without the need to be validated. The Stoics drew this distinction centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote in his Meditations, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions, than your own soul." For Marcus, solitude was not about escaping others, it was about returning home to yourself. In today's world, we often run from solitude. We fear the silence, because silence forces us to face our thoughts, our regrets, our insecurities. But Marcus invites us to see solitude as a sanctuary. Just as a warrior sharpens his sword away from the battlefield, we sharpen our minds in moments of solitude. Ask yourself, when was the last time you sat in silence, not out of boredom, but out of choice? Could it be that the very discomfort you feel is a signal that your soul is asking for attention? This is why Stoics embrace solitude, because it is the laboratory of self-discovery, where you can confront what truly matters without the distractions of the crowd. Part 2. Solitude as training for resilience. Seneca, writing to his friend Lucilius, often reminded him that true strength is tested when we are alone. He wrote, "He who enjoys solitude is neither idle nor alone." Solitude, for Seneca, was not wasted time, it was training ground. It was where the soul learned to stand on its own feet, without leaning on constant approval, applause, or external company. Modern loneliness often comes from dependence on others for validation. We crave likes, comments, messages, proof that we matter. But the Stoics saw dependence as weakness. To be whole, you must be able to live with yourself. Imagine a man exiled, cut off from his friends and family. The Stoics often faced this reality. Epictetus himself had been a slave, enduring silence and isolation under the authority of others. Yet, instead of collapsing into despair, he turned inward. He said, "If you are ever tempted to look outside for approval, remember that you have enslaved yourself." This is a radical lesson. Solitude is not punishment, it is practice. It teaches you to find your strength not in the shifting opinions of the world, but in the firm ground of your reason and character. Think about modern life. When your phone dies, when no one replies to your message, when you feel unseen, do you panic or do you pause? That pause is a test, and solitude is the training that prepares you for it. This is another reason why Stoics embrace solitude. It makes you resilient in a world that constantly changes. Part 3. Solitude as a gateway to wisdom. There's a difference between being busy and being wise. The Stoics warned that filling your days with noise, gossip, and distractions prevents you from ever knowing yourself. Seneca again warned, "If you want to escape your troubles, you don't need to be somewhere else. You need to be someone else." And how do you become someone else? By reflection, by solitude. In solitude, Marcus Aurelius would write nightly in his journals, not for others, not for fame, but to refine his soul. These writings became the Meditations. Imagine an emperor of Rome, surrounded by armies, advisors, and endless responsibility, yet still seeking silence. Why? because solitude was his mirror. For us today, wisdom begins the same way. Instead of filling every empty moment with entertainment, solitude invites us to ask, what am I becoming? What truly matters? Where am I wasting my time? Modern loneliness tells us, you are incomplete without others. Stoic solitude tells us, you already have everything within you. You just need to listen. Is it possible that the wisdom you've been searching for has been waiting inside you all along? That's the gift solitude offers. Part 4. Solitude and Connection. The Paradox of Strength. Here lies the paradox. Solitude does not isolate us from others, it prepares us to connect more deeply. Epictetus taught that before you can love others rightly, you must first know how to live with yourself. Otherwise, you bring desperation into every relationship, demanding that others fill the void you've never faced. The Stoics embrace solitude because it breaks this cycle. It allows you to meet others not from emptiness, but from fullness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. Notice, he does not say avoid them. He says, prepare. And how do you prepare? Through solitude, by strengthening your inner fortress before you face the storms of daily life. In modern times, many of us feel lonely, even in a crowded room. Why? Because we haven't built the ability to be with ourselves. Once you embrace solitude, you stop demanding constant reassurance. You become free to give rather than always take. The paradox is clear. The more comfortable you are in solitude, the more authentic your connections with others will become. So why do Stoics embrace solitude? Because solitude is not emptiness. It is a teacher, a forge, a sanctuary. Marcus Aurelius saw solitude as the return to the soul. Seneca saw it as the training of resilience. Epictetus saw it as the path to freedom. In a world drowning in noise, solitude becomes the place where wisdom is born, where strength is built, and where true connection is prepared. The next time you feel lonely, ask yourself, is this loneliness or is it an invitation to solitude? The difference is everything. If you found value in today's reflection, support Stoic Blend by liking this video, sharing it with someone who needs it, and subscribing for more Stoic wisdom applied to modern life. And now I leave you with a question. Do you see solitude as your enemy or as your greatest teacher? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read them.